you, Dave. Good evening.
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox. Dave, there you are.
KE6 VON 1040.
Okay, hang on a second, guys. Let me get my paper in front of me here.
800 AA6S, your papers are not in order.
Okay, I guess I'm not keying anything here.
Well, your signal definitely isn't what it usually is.
Well, I can't get this keyer thing to work here.
You're loud and clear.
Okay, why aren't we keying here?
K6USY.
I hear you, Aaron. I'm trying to get the amp to key. For some reason, it's done something with the keying circuit here. I can't make it work now.
Yeah, I can barely hear you down here, so yeah, I can tell something's up.
Yeah, you're just barely getting in.
He's not pointed at us. He's pointed down south at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pointed down south. Is that you, Frank? Waiting for Frank. Frank, something's going on with this control box on the keying thing. I can't make it key the amp. There it is. All right. Push enough buttons, eventually it works.
Oh, that's better.
That's a lot better.
Okay. I am pointed south, and I'm looking for N6SWR or KB6 KB6. Who am I looking for down there, Rick? RQU. And I'm not hearing either one of them.
K6USY 1079 and Bozo 1100.
I hear you, Aaron. I got you. K6USY 1079 and 1100.
You got the rest of it right, Mike.
1009.
AJ 727.
Okay. KE6BON and WA6AAJ727. KE6BON, good evening, Adam.
'Good evening, sir. 10 4 Charlie Echo Fox. 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 10 4
No update yet. I'm going to try to get your splitter rolled in here tomorrow and start knocking it out.
Okay, very good. Oh, now I got Bluetooth finally. Okay. All right, let's see. Thank you for that update, Aaron. Tomorrow. I'm not holding my breath, but if I could get it here before next Thursday, which may or may not work, then I could split up some of this wood that's out in the back. Or maybe if I wait till Thursday and Friday, I could get my relatives to help me split the wood.
There you go. Well, I'm hoping it'll, once I start going on it, it'll come together easy. I haven't looked at the bolt pattern. Hopefully it'll mount right up to the current bolt pattern, and then making sure the pump lines up properly, hooks up properly. It shouldn't be an issue. And then making a battery box and mounting your battery on there. So that'll probably be the longest thing I'm hoping for, but we'll see. We'll see what I start when I get it rolled in.
Same here, Patrick. I don't want to say on and Bozo Net, but you're loud.
Now conditions are a whole lot better now than they were before a week or so ago, Bill, but thanks for checking in, man. Appreciate it.
73s.
Mike, where did you win there?
Yeah, I'm in here, Pat. W6PMD 58, K6MYC 47.
I'm right now, but we'll get you logged in, number 47, K6MYC, W6PMD.
Yeah, we got you. Thank you, Pat. Good to hear you. Happy Thanksgiving if we don't run into you between now and then.
Thank you, you too, and hope you guys have a good turkey day up there, and take your shoes off and relax.
Yeah, there you go.
Good evening, Pat. W6PMD, KM6SR, number 432, over.
Anybody else? 682, got you on the book. How's it going?
Try it again, Rob.
How you doing, Pat? W6PMD, this is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo Romeo, number 432, over.
He's got locals chatting at him back down there.
Yeah, I heard him say hang in a second.
Anyway, we got everything okay from you, Aaron, and you've got my phone number, so if you have any questions or... I wouldn't worry too much about the battery. If that's the last thing to mount up, if you can just get it strapped on there with some tape or something, I can rig out something to put it on there with. Don't worry too much about that. I got big band clamps and stuff like that I can put around it, over. Are you still there, Adam?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. What was that?
I said, don't worry too much about the battery bracket. Don't waste a lot of time on that. I got lots of big band clamps. I can put a big hose clamp around it. I've got some that'll work and I'm sure hold it in place, and I can always use bungee cords on the shortfall. Not going to be traveling, so it doesn't have to be much of a mount. We just have to keep them falling over.
Oh, affirmative. I don't want it to look too okified, but I'm sure I can whip something up pretty quick and easy. But we'll see. Once I get it all, like I said, once I get the motor mounted up and everything, then I'll go from there on where to mount the battery. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm hoping that the thing, much more important stuff is like the motor shaft lining up. You may have to shim. If you have to go down with the motor shaft, that's going to be a problem because you may have to do something with the other end of it that it plunges into. But maybe we can put a universal joint there or something, or some kind of a right angle joint. Since there's no rotation, it might not be too difficult to adjust for height.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think most of the shafts are pretty well standard along that size. So, and I think when I measured the shaft on the old one, I think it did match the new one, so that shouldn't be an issue at all.
Oh, that would be wonderful. That would save you a lot of grief, if nothing else. That could be the worst of it right there. The rest of it should be pretty straightforward. Does this thing come with a gas tank?
Yeah, it's got the gas tank built into it. On top of it, it looks like.
Oh, good. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'm leaving it in your capable hands, and let me know if you have any issues. KE6BOM, K6MYC, and let's see, I hear Bill down there. I'll get it around in a second to everybody. Alpha 6 Sugar, good evening. Haven't heard you all week, Bill, K6MYC.
Yeah, Roger, Mikey, K6MYC, A6S. We're at a family reunion thing, and brother-in-law rented some place in Monterey, so we were there. Everybody had a good time, and the antenna's coming around, and Rob, Pat kept calling you there. Everybody was doubling, but anyway, he was copying you. Anyway, back to you there, Mikey, and we're back. K6MYC, AA6S, number 800.
Okay, gotcha. And let's see, Pat, W6PMD, are you back on frequency, Pat? Now we got a clear frequency, Pat, over. Well, I think he heard you anyway, Rob, so he's probably got your 432 in there.
Yeah, Roger. I heard him call in there, but we had local traffic, so I just kind of wait until my turn there. Pat, W6PMD, are you still on there? KM6SR, number 432, over.
I'm not hearing anybody at the moment. I think they're turned the other way.
KG6USS, Bozo 831 over here in the high desert. I am hearing you guys loud and clear.
We hear you, John, KG6USS 831, K6MYC. I'm 47, but Pat's already got the number. Rob is not sure whether he got through to Pat, so Rob, pick it up.
Yeah, John, good evening. KG6USS, KM6SR, number 432. If Pat doesn't have me, then you can put me in there. Thank you.
All right, very good. Yeah, it's kind of weird, I'll tell you. It's doggone strange conditions tonight, copy?
Well, you sound like you're normal, booming in here like you're in the garage, so it's okay for us, over.
All right, well, I'm glad my radio's working your way. All right, KG6USS, Bozo 831, Southern California, Bozo Net.
Anybody else for John down there that hasn't checked in with Pat already? K6MYC standing by for the Southern California guys that take check-ins from up this way, over.
KC5, DTU 712, and I will give you a call tomorrow, Michael. Didn't get a chance today.
Okay, good. We'll look forward to it.
Roger, Roger. How's things up on the hill? Is Judy secretarian?
I left her in the house. This is Wednesday night, and my grandson comes over, and Matt and grandson and Judy usually stay at the table as long as there's a heavy discussion. I said, just stay in and enjoy the company with my grandson, Bo. So she's in the house. I said, you don't have to come out. It's nice out here tonight. It's much warmer than it was last night. I froze last night. By the end of the evening, I went in. I was cold. But tonight it's nice. It was mellow today. We took a ride down to the creek, and I was in shirt sleeves, and even with the wind coming on me, it was mellow. I would say somewhere in the 70 to 74 bracket, with the nice warm air coming off the hot sun that was beating on the hillsides here. All the grass is dry. The creek is dry as a bone. There wasn't a drop in it. Boy, I've never seen it like that in 25 years. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Okay. Well, I did some a little bit of research on 11.3 and.
Bill, do you want to tell him that we hear him up there? That's probably Richard.
There. So I'll be standing by for a little while before I go to the 10 meter.
Okay. Missed a little bit of that W for just a second because we had CW from Nevada come in. What was the last comment?
Roger, Roger. I was commenting on the CW coming in there, and I was going to get out of here and hang around for a little bit, and then I'll go over to the 10 meter now.
Yeah. Okay. And that's 249. That's Richard. I got him, Bill.
Yeah, Roger. He's coming in good here, too. N7WT, AA6S. Here 555 in Visalia. 55 N7WT, AA6S.
Oh, it's KD6BQ. KD6 Bisquick. Roger. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, he's loud and clear. I got to get my pen. I can't remember anything. I got to put it down in front of me, but he was pushing about an S8 on the meter here. Good enough, even I can copy it there. Go ahead.
It's Kilo Delta 6, Bisquick, BQ.
KD6BQ, yeah, you're loud on sideband. KD6BQ, AA6S, 55, 55, 55 on sideband, DMO6, over. QSL, Delta Mike 09, QSL 56, you're 55, 55 with a little bit of QSB. Back to you there, AA6S, over. KD6BQ, 73's Richard, 73's loud and good signal. Able 6 sugar, AA6S, 73's, thank you.
73, Richard, K6MYC off the back of the beam, 73. It did. Okay, we got that taken care of. Good signal from Richard. Hopefully he'll stick around too, so anybody that didn't hear him can work him on the direct path from Wassaw Valley, Nevada, in a minute, in about a half an hour or so. All right, who else do we have? Let's see. I'm looking for KB6BQ. No, that's not right. I'm looking for KB6. What the hell's Rick's call down there? I got a mental blank, Rob.
KB6 RQU, over.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with the first letter, RQU. I don't know what the hell happened there. I just blanked out. KB6 RQU, Rick, number 61, where are you? Oh, boy, okay. N6SWR, Ben, are you down there?
226 is here.
Okay, we'll take 226. Good evening, Ken.
Yeah, good evening. WA60IB is here for a Wednesday night. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great evening. WA60IB, I'll be here a few minutes, then I'll jump over to 10.
Yeah, I see it's 10 to 10 now, so we got a few minutes with you. Very good. Got quite a gang here already. Let's see, KG6 Charlie Echo Fox is in here. Good evening, Daryl. And we got K6 VBG. Good evening to you, Dave. I didn't mean to shortcut you guys, but you got me before I was ready to go here. Daryl, take a short one, over.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, nothing much to report. We're just shuffling along up here. I got to line up a little bit of help here in the near future, and as soon as I figure out how I want to attach that, my upright for my rotor, I'll ask for some help.
Okay. Well, the closest guy to you knows how to do it, so.
Frank's busy. I don't want to bug him until I'm absolutely ready to go.
Yeah, that'd be fine. He's busy. He's trying to get his own stuff running, and he's been working down here. We did get to a kind of got a lot of stuff done today. He built a road for me, so when my guests come, they got an easy route down to the creek. So I had him put a road in. It's on the neighbor's property, but the neighbor don't know. He never comes to his property anyway. So we put a road in. I've got a gate through into the property anyway, and there's always been a road there, but it's gotten overgrown a little bit, and I can't see it anymore. So I had Frank make it so that blind guy here can get down the road and get to the main road that goes to the creek. Anyway, that got done, and then we got the burning pile fired up. It was a burn day here, so that was good. We picked up a lot of leaves and other stuff. So it was a fairly good day overall. So there you are. Good to hear you. And yeah, I'm sure Frank can jump up there for a few minutes one way or the other. Friday's probably a day that might be okay for him. He's got to stay home anyway for the sanitation guy to come, but he has time before that or after when the guy is. If the guy comes, then he's totally free after that because it'll be too late for him to come down here. So Friday is his best day where you know he's going to be home.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Friday. Over to you, Dave, if you're still there, and I guess it's warmer in the shack tonight. I got the door on wide open to the outside. It's probably 60 in here. Over. Oh, Dave's gone back in, I guess.
He might have gone over 10 meters.
Well, he's getting there early if he gets there, but that's okay. I don't have any problem with that. And Rob, good to hear you. Thanks for popping in. Aaron's in here with his co-pilot. And we had Adam in good shape. And I should stand by and listen for Mike, WA6AAJ. Good to hear you, Mike, and I imagine you're hearing everybody up north and down south. Over.
Roger. Got people up north, but I turned down south and I wasn't hearing Pat. He's kind of 50-50 for me at times. So anyway, no problem. Good to hear you guys, and check me in. Over.
We had you checked in when you first called in.
Roger. Yeah, I got to be over at 10 meters on the dot because I'm first.
Okay. Somebody's hearing you down south. Why don't you give one call to the Southland and see if you can give them your number.
Okay, Whiskey Alpha 6, Alpha Juliet to the LA Bozo Net. Over.
Your check-in there. I said 987. Is that Roger?
I know he's in there, but I can't hear him.
I think they're talking local down there right now.
Okay.
All right, Mark November, Delta November. 987. We got you on the list tonight. Just checking in. Anybody else up that way?
Yeah, I think he's still just talking local. He's getting louder here, though. Okay, well, I wish we could get Rick and Ben to get in here more reliably out of DMO5. I'd like to see that grid square more active. Of course, when the contests are on, John's always down there, K6MI, but and not for normal stuff.
Yeah, we're doing okay down here. A little chillier than normal. Maybe get some rain. Hopefully, you guys will get a little rain up your way too. Yes, I'll let you go, and don't be a stranger.
Are you hearing Pat now, Mike?
Indian W6PMD.
No, not really well. He's just above my noise.
Okay. Pat, can you bump the antenna up this way? W6PMD, K6MYC. We got one more for you. One more for you, Pat. Over.
Oh, we'll just take it all the way up there. Way up in the eastern sphere at our copy KG6USS 831.
Did you hear that? that, Mike? Yeah, Mike?
Barely, W6PMD, W6PMD, this is WA6AAJ, over.
John, KG6 USS, we've got one more for you, John, if you can listen up this way for one more caller. KG6 USS, K6 MYC, point this way for a minute, over. I guess they're just not hearing me. They got too much local traffic, and I think I hear Dennis in there. WB6ISO, was that you, Dennis? Anybody pointed north for Dennis? We'll have to get him in a minute. Okay, let's see. I think we've pretty much cleaned out the San Joaquin Valley. Let's go over to Atascadero. Atascadero, W6QUI, K6MYC. Are you around there this evening, Ron? Over. W6QUI, Atascadero, K6MYC. Over. I got terrible noise over in that direction. Holy cow. This inverter from my neighbor is just really rocking tonight. If you're handy, Aaron, maybe you can turn my blanker on.
Yeah, give me a second. K6USY.
Well, I can do it. I just thought you were sitting there looking at it, but if it's difficult, I can do it. There it is, okay. Thank you. Cleans it up quite a bit. Okay, W6QUI, KN6EIV, KB6WRW, K6MYC. Anybody down there in Atascadero or Paso Robles? I'll be darned, that's all quiet on the western front there. I got a cat here that's licking my hand, my writing hand. So when I pause for a second, I gotta take my hand away gently. Otherwise, he reaches up with both paws and he actually hooks me to keep me from pulling my hand away. He wants to keep licking here. This is the wild one, Abby. He's such a good cat, but he's very possessive, and he's given me the treatment here this morning. He doesn't think my hand is clean enough, so he's really working it over. All right, one more call, W6QUI, or anybody down there in Atascadero, K6MYC, over. Well, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to go on up to Santa Cruz, and we have our old friend back, Thomas back, KW6S. So he had a back injury and a back operation, so he was out of commission for about a week and a half, but he's back and he's sounding good. Let's go to Santa Cruz. Okay, over towards Santa Cruz and Watsonville. KW6 Sugar, KW6S. KW6 Sugar, K6MYC. Tom?
K6MYC, KW6S. Let's see, things aren't going here.
Well, you're readable. You're just not bodacious, but you're plenty good. Don't need to fix it unless you want to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had forgot to switch the amplifier out of standby.
Well, you're loud. Sure enough, good conditions tonight. And I'm hoping you're still continuing on the mend and feeling good. You're sounding good.
Yeah, I'm pretty much figure I'm pretty much back to regular service here, and have various visiting nurses and physical therapists and doctor's visits the next couple of days, and I think I'll just start telling them I don't need them anymore.
Don't be too quick with that.
Oh, no, I won't. The physical therapist, when he was here the other day, he just says, I don't see any real reason for me to come back. And I said, well, why don't you come back one time next week anyway?
Good plan. Okay, well, that's super. Let's take a listen, and maybe you can, maybe if he's got his antenna down and inside the shack or something, maybe you can wake up Lee over there. Alpha Foxtrot 6 United. Give him a call. I'll try it, and then you call it. AF 6 United. Lee, I wonder if you're able to get on here this evening. K6MYC in the group. I don't hear him.
AF 6 United. AF 6 United. KW6S. I'm not hearing anything from him either, Mike, so I guess he's still in rest mode.
Well, he was rebuilding things over there, and he's probably didn't get it done as fast as he wanted to. Let's see if Kevin's with us this evening. WA6JKN and Gilroy. How about it, Kevin? Although he's in and out, he's got lots of company and lots of relatives and lots of business going on right now. WA6JKN, K6MYC. Okay, I don't hear Kevin either. Okay, Tom, let's see. Anybody else? I think all the guys that would normally want to say hello to you. Maybe Bill is here, and he can say hello, but the rest of the guys are over on the 10-meter net here on Wednesdays. AA6S, you want to say hello to KW6S now that he's back from his back operation, Bill, over? Maybe Bill's over on 10 meters, too. I don't know.
I'll talk to him, Mike.
Hey, go ahead.
How you doing, Tom? KW6S. This is KM6SRR. Good to have you back there, over.
KM6SRR, KW6S. Good evening, Rob. Yeah, it's as they say, it's good to be back. Yeah, you're sounding pretty, not real strong, but nice and out in the clear here tonight.
Yeah, you're going up and down a little. I may not be pointed right at you, but good to hear you in there. Thanks, Mike.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else for Tom before we slide up into the Bay Area? You're going to have to get a few more people. You used to have a guy that was on a boat down there, and then the boat a guy came on his boat and stole his antenna, and he's never come back. You remember him?
Yeah, that was Toasted Peanut Butter, Steve, and he's changed his routine a little bit, I think. He's been coming over to Santa Cruz and tying up in the bay here, not in the harbor, but out in the bay, and checked into our 10-meter net, I think a couple of times, but then I haven't heard him. Of course, I haven't been on the air, but he wasn't. He didn't join us this Monday night.
Okay, well, maybe if you run into him again, maybe you can tell him that we miss him, and I'm sure we could hear him from wherever he is parked. I don't know whether he's replaced the antenna on the boat, but we could probably even hear him if he was running vertical. Has he been checking in sideband or FM?
He was checking into our 2-meter, our 10-meter sideband net.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, maybe we can get him back. And the other guy that we've lost, of course, so we're losing a lot of people from that area. WA6LIE has moved to Arizona. So I think he's gone for the duration.
Yeah, and I think maybe he took his remote with him and going to rebuild it down there sometime, but I'm a little vague on what I remember. I'd made some changes to how my antenna switch around here right before I went into the hospital, and I came out and I thought that was still on my to-do list, and I got to looking, and it's like, oh no, I did this already.
You really did put your brain on hold, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it was a good mod, and I've got a little bit of a safety issue with it. If I mess up, I can end up wiping out the 9700. So I've got to be careful until I get it set up for automated protection.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll get after it now. You sound like you're more than capable of putting some time in the shack and getting things like that buttoned up. For now, we'll let you go, and we'll see you tomorrow night, obviously, on FM, on 432. Jesus, my brain is fried tonight. I don't know why. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, and look forward to it. Maybe we can find out where Lee is, and maybe he can get his antenna up for temporary check-in there. 7-3 for now, Tom. Glad you're feeling better. KW6S, K6MYC, going into the Bay Area. I hear 884 way off the backside. We can check you in, Phil, but I'm a long ways. Well, not a long ways from you, but I'm certainly pointed the wrong way. 884. We've got you, Phil, over.
Roger. Yeah, you were in a hot spot there for a minute. You were in a very hot spot there for a minute. Okay, WB6GGY. We'll back off and let you point off to the Bay Area. But there for a minute, you were in a very hot spot. WB6GGY.
Yeah, it might have been just the band. I've tuned back to that spot where I was. You did not come up at all, so I think it's just the band going up and down.
Okay, well, very good. We'll be on the side. WB6GGY.
We'll see you in a minute on the direct path there, 5 minutes or so. Okay, Bay Area Bozo Net, K6MYC.
WA6AXX, no traffic, 773.
6 Whiskey November, India, 1090.
Okay, very good. Good evening, Ed. 773 WA6AXX, and also you, Gary, WA6WNI. Good signal for both of you. There might have been others, but good to hear you, Ed. It was warm here today. Temperatures got into the 70s, and we took a ride down to the creek, which is dry as a bone. And I've lived here 25 years. I've never seen the creek dry. So we are really in a hurt city here water-wise. WA6AXX, K6MYC.
Okay, very good. It was very, very, very windy here today. Gusts up to like 42 or 44, I think, which is pretty high for us. We lost power for a couple hours, and PG&E brought it back pretty quick, so not too bad. That's about it. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Did you say the wind was up to 44 miles an hour, or the temperature only got to 44?
Wind.
Okay, yeah, we had no wind here. I mean, we might have had 2 or 3 miles an hour, but I don't remember any breezes or any gusts or anything. So it's very calm here today. It's a good thing because I was picking up leaves, and when you've got a whole pile of very loose, dry leaves, they don't stay put if you if you have wind. So I was lucky to have no wind, and I was able to get up the leaves without a lot of mishaps. Very good. Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing more tomorrow. You must be you're getting close to getting the atmospheric river talking to you, if you're going to get anything starting tomorrow. So maybe we'll see signs of it. Anyway, who knows? The weather patterns are really funny, and the reports or the predictions are up and down and all over the place. Over to you, Gary, WB6WNI, K6MYC.
Well, thank you, Mike. And I had K6WNI. Probably better tonight. You hit an S9, which I think is a record down here, at least for me. S9 really strong. Just like the winds, as Ed described, it was a moment there around
between like 1 and 3 o'clock, it was howling, and now it's quiet again, and no rain to speak of. So, Mike, I only have a single question that just popped into my head. You know, I was sick for a while, but while I was out sick, did Frank get his tier to work for the beacon station? And that's all I have for tonight. Just wondering if he got his tier working.
The keyer is working. The beacon is on 432 and on 2 meters. I don't know what exact condition the antennas are in, but I think he's raised them. Seems like every time he works on the Bozo or on the beacon, he raises the antennas. I think there's still an egg beater on 432 and an egg beater on 2 meters, so he's omni, but I could be wrong. Frank hasn't checked in here yet, which is unusual. He was here all day, but he was also very tired, so he may have just gotten home and worked until he couldn't work anymore, gone in the house and got some dinner and fell asleep on the couch. So that may be where he is this evening.
Oh, very good, Mike. Well, thanks for letting me know. I will tune in to those frequencies after the net is over. And again, 73 to you and the net. There will be 6 coming on.
Yeah, you should be able to hear the 2 meter one, and it's the same keyer going all of them. So when you hear the 2 meter one, the 432 one's going to sound exactly the same with the same pattern. There's quite a bit of time where you're only going to hear dits. Dit, dit, with quite a spacing between the dits. And then you just have to listen and keep tuning, and all of a sudden you'll hear the CW take off. And he goes through quite a long CW, gives his call several times in the grid square and also the elevation. He taps out the elevation, I think at 2,600 feet or whatever it is, and then it goes back to the dits again. You have a good period of easy listening and easy detection, and there's other times when it's just ditting, and you're not going to hear it if it isn't loud enough to get over the noise. Good luck, Gary. Thanks for checking in. It sounds like you're getting over that cold, so good deal. Just in time for Thanksgiving, so you don't pass it to anybody. WB6WNI, K6MYC. Now, who else do we have in the Bay Area for Bozo Net? Over.
N5MPD, 1129.
PQL. Oh boy, lots of us here. Okay. Let's see. I hear W1296. Good evening, Jim. And let me get that written down right. And I think I heard 1129 NPD. Let me get it to you quickly, Brett, and you could take it, and then we'll get it over to Jim, W6PQL, who is loud also. N5 NPD, good to have you back in. I guess we've missed you for about a week. K6MYC.
Well, good evening, Mike and Judy, if she's in the shack with you there. Yeah, I'm here tonight. N5 MPD 1129. And, yeah, sometimes it gets a little bit late, and it's already time for me to go inside. You know, I get up pretty early and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's about time for me to retire here for the night. So, anyhow, yep, 0 rain here in Newman for the evening so far, and I don't see anything in the forecast until Friday afternoon, which is fine. So, but, you know, a week's worth of rain coming up, so we'll take it. So, anyhow, I'll send it back over to you, Mike.
Well, let's hope we get a week's worth. The predictions keep changing from tons to nothing and everything in between. So the atmospheric river is changing its course, it seems, and it's also breaking up into sections from what we can see on the weather map and the satellite picture. So who knows? We may not get any rain, and again, we might get a good amount. I would love to have 2 or 3 inches here, maybe more if we could get it. I'd take all we can get. We don't flood here, so give it to me all you got, baby. Okay, good to hear you, Brett. Won't keep it short. Go tuck yourself into bed, and we'll talk to you maybe tomorrow on 432. I think you have that.
I do. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow. Now over to you, Jim. W6PQL and others. I heard AB6SR also stand, don't go away, K6MYC. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, your antenna's a little bit further south for me, but I wouldn't move it since you're probably aiming right at Stan. Anyway, you sound good over here. S9, but it fades down to about S3 sometimes. You know how this all happens here. Me being so close to the hill, it's never a steady signal for me. But anyway, I second the motion on all the wind. It was pretty windy today. It was a good thing I played golf yesterday instead of trying to do it today. But I was looking for that in the forecast before I booked the tee time. And according to the forecast, we're supposed to get rain here on Friday. That thing they call a bomb cyclone. Boy, they're overusing those terms, bomb cyclone and atmospheric river. It's just rain. Anyway, whatever's causing it, the rain will be pushed down here probably on Friday, unless they change the forecast. Then you should get it a day later. A6NYC W6PQL.
Now we're supposed to get it. They predict Friday here also, even Thursday night. So God only knows. The predictions are just all over the map on when it's going to come and how much and all that stuff and how long it's going to last. Last prediction was going to last right into Thanksgiving Day, on the next Thursday, and we don't want that, of course. I mean, I shouldn't complain, but we're going to have everybody here in the house, but it's a little awkward when there's tons of rain. And I got my grandson driving down from Idaho. He's going to have to drive through some of that, hopefully not gully washing where he is coming down. Anyway, good evening to you, Jim. Thank you. Good signal here. No worries. There is a little bit of funny little dropout dropout QSB, I should say. Just drops right out for 10, 15 dB. I still hear you, but it just goes ooh, and then it goes roaring right back up again. Maybe because I'm on the side of the pattern or something here. All right, let me get it over to you, Stan. Good evening. AB6 Sugar Radio with the Merlot in his hand, K6MYC.
K6MYC, AB6SR 807. Yeah, good evening to everybody. I can understand why Jim didn't play golf today. Goodness. Yeah, it was gusty here. I think it peaked at the temperature peaked around 63, but it felt cold all day long. Feels cold now. What happened to that lovely expression when we came over here all those years ago? It was called a Pineapple Express. I think it sounds so much better than atmospheric river or whatever it is. As Jim said, it's just rain. So I hope we get a lot of it. I think I'm ready, prepared here. Cleaned up everything in the gutters. I hope you get your fill there as well, Mike. Nothing much else from here. Didn't have much luck on 6 on Monday night. Every signals were really weak with me. Maybe just the antenna here. Don't know. Anyway, back to you. Just like Jim says, I think we're in for it on Friday with the rain. Haven't heard or felt anything yet. So I hope you get the rain you deserve there. K6MYC, AB6SR in Los Gatos.
Well, we've got our request sheets in, several now, because we have still had no rain since May. So it's going on 7 months. It's getting ridiculous. Ridiculous. And we were down at the Fine Gold Creek River, or creek today. Judy and I drove down in the ATV, and there wasn't a bone, it wasn't a drop in the creek anywhere. Bone dry, absolutely bone dry. Dusty, dust city. And I showed Judy the banks on either side of the creek where we were, and it related to a breadth of about 100 feet. I said, I've seen the water going down through here from that bank to this one. That's 100 feet wide and 8 to 10 feet deep, and it's so loud you can't even hear yourself. And it's just really weird to see it bone dry, not even a wet leaf in there. It's awful. I've never seen it like that. So we are really hurting for rain here. Good evening to you, Stan, and of course we'll look for you tomorrow on 432. I'm sorry we didn't hear you on 6. I don't think the 6-meter conditions were spectacular, but I worked everybody that I could hear, and we had other people standing by for anybody. So if you hear anybody, if you didn't hear anybody, you better go check the antenna, because I think I had 4 or 5 check-ins in the Bay Area on 6 meters. You should have heard somebody. And you can always check in with them, and then we can make a specific effort to listen for you. 7-3 for now. We'll see you tomorrow. AB6SR, K6MYC, and it was much warmer here by 10 degrees today, Stan, over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I won't be on 70 because don't have an antenna for it yet. So that's just me. Anyway, yeah, we got about 3/8 of an inch, centimeter or so 2 weeks ago here of rain, but nothing else. So yeah, and the Merlot, yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, so we finished off the bottle of Markham Merlot tonight. So lovely wine, Markham. Anyway, have a good evening. Evening to Judy if she's there. K6MYC, AB6SR.
Well, I'll pass it on to you, on to Judy, but Judy's seat this evening is being warmed and kept warm with Abby. Abby, the black male stray cat that has now found a home here. And he's sitting in Judy's chair all curled up. We had a nice love fest with my hand. He licked my hand for about 5 minutes. And I petted him real extensively, and now he's all curled up in the chair. He likes company. He just likes to be around. And after he gets a little bit of loving, then he's okay. And when he first moved here, you couldn't give him enough petting. He was just so craven. But now he understands that he can get it any time if he's rubbing my leg or he's here. Anytime we're outside, we always pet him. So that's reduced the craven need for being petted all the time, which is nice because now he just keeps company with it, okay? Keeps his company. He's sitting here all curled up in a chair and just a happy camper listening to his daddy's voice. Hi. 7-3 Stan, we'll see you tomorrow. AB6SR, K6MYC now standing by for others in the Bay Area. Well, there's got to be somebody out there. We got KT2G. We got WB6 JNN, K6KLY, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, KF6QCH. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. K6MYC Bozo Net, Bay Area. Come on, guys. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'm kind of anxious to hear back from Fred. Fred's had terrible noise on 2 meters, but not a trace of noise on 220, and that just doesn't seem to compute to me. Usually if you have noise on one band, it's not that far away to go to 220. But I said, just hook the 220 antenna to the 2-meter system and see if you hear anything, but he hasn't done that yet. So we don't know if he really has a local problem that he can't fix in the neighborhood, or he's got something in his own house that's tearing him up on just 2 meters. So I don't know where Fred is here, but one of these days we hope to hear him check in again. WB6JNN, Jim, are you here? Hey, I don't hear Jim. Let me go further north here. Let's see, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. How about you, Mike? N6 Radio Oscar, am I close enough to get any signal to you, Ken? N6 Radio Oscar, N6 Radio Oakley, Rodeo Oakley, K6MYC, N6RO, K6MYC, Ken?
WB6 ISO.
I hear you, and I heard you earlier, Dennis, but you didn't hear me respond. And I didn't have anybody else. I says, or anybody else can talk to to Dennis, but nobody responded. Everybody had their antennas, I guess, in other directions. Anyway, well, it looks like we're going to be in your backyard in just a second here. I was going to give Ken 1 or 2 more chances. He may be eating dinner, but when he misses 3 nights in a row now, 220 was a given, but he wasn't on 6, and he was on 6. He found the problem, but the next night on 1296 he was not there, and now he's not here on this band. That scares me. I hope he's feeling okay. Hope he hasn't gotten himself into a cold condition or something, because he's been staying up a lot of late nights over the weekends and doing heavy duty contesting. But he's used to that. He's still getting pretty old. You know, he's an old man like me. He can't keep up with that stuff forever. So hopefully he's okay. N6RO, last call for now. Okay, 6MYC. I don't hear him. So, Dennis, let me spin up your way, and you can tell me who you've got. I hear you, Darren. KJ6KFB 756. Go ahead, Darren. Let me peek on you there. Over.
N1PPP, N1PPP 336. Is that you, Jack?
I hear you. Dave, N1PPP, good signal from 336. How about Kent? Was he in there also?
No, Kent was sick tonight. I don't know where he is or how he's doing.
Oh, okay. I guess 2 nights in a row now he hasn't been checking in, so hopefully he'll be better. You hear him, give him our best wishes. Hopefully he gets well quick. But you got a nice signal here. Anybody else want to say hello to Clear Lake as long as we have an opening here? Anybody? I guess nobody else is hearing you at the moment, Dave. Good evening to you. N1PPP, K6MYC. Gotcha.
Yeah, good night, Mike. 73, N1PPP.
73, and we'll look for you tomorrow on 432, over.
I don't have that anymore.
Oh, you don't? Okay, so what bands do you have and what bands do you not have?
220, 6 meters, and 2 meters.
Okay, so 6 to 2 meters and 222, and that's it. Okay, well then I won't take too much time. I don't spend a lot of time calling you, because when I don't hear anything, I don't waste a lot of time waiting. We're either going to hear you or we aren't, and we're going to hear you when we're pointed some other direction, like you have done several times calling me when I'm pointed off in Neverland. Whenever we get an opening, that's when you got to call, and you've learned that. 73, thanks so much, and have a great Thanksgiving, Dave. N1PPP, K6MYC.
Yeah, I try to be a nuisance when I can. Have a good night, Mike.
73, Dave. We go back to get you, Darren. KJ6KFB, K6MYC. Are you still there, Darren? Who is it?
Well, he was pointed here, and then he moved it.
I'm pointed at you.
Never did hear Darren up this way there, Mike.
I heard him call in. He was very weak, not normal at all. Good evening to you, Dennis, and good evening to you, Bill. Take a quick one, Bill, and then shoot it back to Dennis. He's probably got some other check-ins for us, over.
Yeah, you were a little louder, actually quite a bit louder, Mike, and then you faded out. Anyway, I have not heard Darren tonight here. Good evening, Dennis. John's also waiting. I'll say KO6 Kitty 776, checking in, and I'm checking out.
You're checking out already?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're late, and you're running the net, and you got to get going, so I'll get out of the way and not be an obstacle. I'll catch you probably in the morning, perhaps.
Yeah, I should be there. It's going to be a little strange in the morning. I've got the cleaning ladies coming in tomorrow to clean the house for our Thanksgiving thing.
Where's Reno?
Oh, I'm doubling with you. Okay, well, we'll be in the morning, but I've got the cleaning ladies coming in. They're going to be arriving somewhere between 8 and 8:30. So I may be chatting with you guys, and then I may have to stop for a few minutes to get them connected with Judy. Judy's going to oversee the cleaning ladies and what they work on, but I may have to get involved in it just for a few minutes. So other than that, I'm open. So we should see you tomorrow. We'll certainly be up because we can't be running around naked getting dressed while the cleaning ladies are here. Over.
Okay, Mike, you're fading out on me. It looks like, according to the YouTube, you're pointed towards Reno. So anyway, I'm clear. 7-3. Good evening, Dennis. Good evening, John. Good evening, Mike. KO6 Kitty.
Yeah, well, the band is all over the place. I couldn't copy you pointed at you.
Every week.
Was that about week?
Your signal was nothing over here. Bill said you was pointing toward the Reno area, not up this way.
Oh, I wasn't pointed toward Reno. I was pointed at 340, but that's where Bill's signals was the best for the moment. He wasn't readable. He was barely readable, pointed at 328, where I normally get him. But that's why you didn't hear me, because I'm even further from you. How's that now, Dennis?
Oh, I hear you just fine. No problem here. I could hear you everywhere. I was sitting here listening to you, and I was listening to all the guys down in Southern California checking in, and no, I could hear everything. No problem at all. I did have a quick question for you. A long time ago, the station kept trying to check in, and you finally picked him up, and that was WB6 GGY number 84. I was wondering, where is he located at, over?
He's in Twain Harte, and I got him. I heard him, but he checks in early whenever he hears me on a peak. He's in Twain Harte. You know where that is?
I certainly do. Yeah. Okay. Very good. I heard him earlier, and yeah, I couldn't remember exactly where he was located at. Anyway, yeah, you got the Clear Lake guys in there. Apparently, checked in. I didn't hear them here, but anyway, I only have a few here for you when you're ready.
I'm ready.
782, 849, 849. And 132, and just one more, 233, and of course I'm Bozo 86, and hello, Judy.
Now, Judy couldn't hear you because she's in the house. We have a Wednesday nights, the boys, my grandson comes over and cooks dinner with my son, and that's usually a sort of a party atmosphere. And they get going on a lot of wild discussions about old times in the family and so on. And Matt grew up with Judy's kids. They were all born about the same time. So Bo always enjoys hearing about those old stories and so on. Anyway, I just said, Judy, just stay in here. As long as you got a good discussion going with Bo and Matt, just stay here. And I'll do the net in the barn. I can handle it. So that's where she is. I'll pass on your greeting. However, Dennis, thank you very much. And I got all the check-ins, including 233, 132, 849, et cetera, over.
Okay, very good. All right, just one little piece of information for you to put a story in your memory bank. I did talk to KD6BQ, Richard, earlier, and K7SUN, Mr. Stan. And on 3952, the Western Public Service System, Don, K7 Delta Romeo Foxtrot. Now, he's in Willington, Nevada, and he has been this 2 meter station put back together, and I was talking about the Bozo Net. So anyway, when you go that way, and we'll keep you posted once he gets that going, you might be able to listen for that new station over there in Nevada, over.
Yeah, N7 Delta what?
Kilowatt 7 Delta Romeo Foxtrot.
Okay, K7DRF, very good. I'll keep an ear out for him. Where is he related to Fallon and Carson City, over?
He's in Willington, and I talked to Richard and Stan, and he's about 30 miles or 35 miles in between the two of them over there is where Willington, Nevada. He runs the on 3952 on the Western Public Service System, generally on Tuesday evenings, and I'll keep you posted on his progress. Over.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Be nice to have somebody over there in that area. And I checked in, and I've already checked in KD6BQ. I got Richard earlier. He checked in off the back of the beam. Pretty good propagation. I could actually hear his sideband on the backside, which is quite a haul. So big signals. So pretty good propagation tonight, Dennis, and you're very solid and very easy copy. No chopped up flutter or anything tonight. Thanks for all the check-ins, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that K7DR Delta Romeo Fox, I think was what it was, gets his station going quickly, and I'm sure we'll be able to hear him if he's running 25 watts into a little Yagi or something, anything like that or better would be hearing him fine. Thanks, Dennis. K7 WB6ISO, I should say, 86. We got you, of course, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. Well, next time I talk to him, I'll try to get a little bit more of an update of his antenna system, how much power he's running, et cetera, and I'll get that relayed to you at the same time as well. Okay, very good. Have a very, very pleasant good evening. Catch you next trip. WB6ISO.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow night on 432.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Yeah, we didn't hear you last week.
I had company come in, and I forgot all about it, and I was bad, but no, we're getting ready for the big Pineapple Express to come in. So far, very, very light rains here. No high winds to speak of. Clear Lake got counted pretty good up there with the rain. Of course, Washington really got pounded with the rain and lots of wind, but so far, not too bad here.
Well, I think it's early. I think Friday through next week is going to be when the Pineapple Express or the Atmospheric River comes in. But you guys are going to get it. It's swinging around in various places, so that our reports here are really inconsistent. One day we're going to get a lot of rain. The next day said, no, it's going to miss you. So it goes from 0 rain to 5 inches, depending on the moment that the forecaster looks at the map, I guess. Anyway, we'll see. I hope we get some. I have had no rain since May, as I've been saying for several months now. And we were down at the creek today, and it was dry as a bone. I've seen the creek rushing at 100 feet across and 8 feet deep when it's raining good. 100 feet across and 8 feet deep, and it wasn't bone dry. There wasn't a drop in it, in ponds or any place in the creek, so I've never seen it so dry. Pretty horrible. So we need it desperately. WB6ISO 73. Good evening, Dennis, and you have a good Thanksgiving on the outside chance we miss you here. K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, thank you much. Appreciate it. You have a very pleasant good evening. Give my very best to Judy, and have a nice Thanksgiving if I don't get back to you between now and then.
Will do. And how's your hand healing up?
It's getting there slowly but surely, and I did get some other medicine, for arthritis, when you get the arthritis in your fingers and everything else, and it seems to be working, this new pill they give me.
A little fluttery right again. You got medicine for your finger, and what happened?
Well, they did the a trigger finger, but as you know, you get some arthritis that's actually in all your fingers, and you're trying to make a fist type of deal where all your fingers are hurting.
Well, I got one knuckle that's arthritic, because that's the one where the snake bit me, and it goes on and off. And sometimes it's quite sore and quite tender until I warm it up. And other days, like today, it's almost non-existent. So it's a very funny finger.
Yeah, well, I was having that problem, and they got me some medicine for it, and I've only taken it 2 days, and so far it's really helping as far as I can make a fist now where I couldn't before. I don't have the information it's in there, so if you remind me between now and the next time on 432, I'll get that information for you, and it might be helpful for you as well.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I haven't got arthritis. My mother had arthritis in her fingers, which really gave her some trouble in the last few years of her life. She was or could have been if she'd stayed with it and didn't get married. She was training to be a concert pianist, so my mother was a phenomenal piano player. And of course, if your fingers start to get stiff, she got to a point where she was embarrassed to play the piano anymore because she kept hitting the wrong keys and stuff that we couldn't tell. But she said, "Oh, I'm just not doing this any good anymore at all." But she was way more particular than we were. We could hear the tunes, and it sounded fine to us. But she had arthritis in her hands, and I remember my grandmother on her side, her mother had arthritis also. So somehow, even though I have my mother's bone structure, I've been very lucky by, here I am, 87, and I don't have anything. I wouldn't have any sign of it if it wasn't for this finger that's been screwed up several times with the snake bite and other things. Over.
Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, I got it, cranking wrenches for many years and everything else, how that works out. But anyway, I'll get out of the way. I know there's other people who want to get checked in. It gets too much later here for them and everything else, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. You take care of yourself. Stay warm down there by all means. WB6 ISO 73 for now.
Yeah, it's pretty warm here now. It was 74 here today. We had a glorious day, no wind, so it was wonderful weather. Dennis, give me the name of that stuff. Is it pills or is it liquid?
It's a pill. It's a little capsule is what it is, actually a capsule. I tell you what, it won't take me about a second. I can get it real quick.
Okay, I'm standing by, and I'll pick up whoever else in the meantime. But, yeah, just let me know what the name of it is and how many you have to take per day. So, Dennis is going to get the name of a medicine. Let's see, who else do we have in the Sacramento area or Redding? Let me go a little further north for Redding. I'm not too far from Redding. This should be closer. Redding, K6MYC, KD6SW, or KO6HUS. Good evening, guys.
Let me give it to you real quick.
Okay. Hang on.
This one that says that it's a generic for Celebrex.
Celebrex?
Yeah, Celebrex.
Can you spell it? Charlie Echo Lima Echo BREX? Can you spell it?
Yeah, I'm trying to. That darn where the spelling is messed up. Yeah, CELEBX, I guess is what it is.
Celebex, BX or BREX?
Yeah. CELE. The last one I got screwed up on this thing. It's called CELECOXB, 100 milligram.
Okay, let me write it down here. CELEO.
No, CELECOXB, and it says it's 100 milligram.
Be sure to take it with food.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Who was that?
Yeah, WB6GGY. It ate a hole in my stomach because I was eating it before food, and you got to eat it with after food. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. No, I usually take a meal with all my vitamins and stuff. I don't take anything but supplements like that. I don't take medicine as such, but this sounds like it's a medicine as opposed to something else. But anyway, no, I would always put some food down there before you do it. But thanks for that, Phil. That's Phil, Dennis. That's Phil, WB6GGY in Twainhart. His name is Phil, and he's like I am. He's blind, but for a different reason. So we are brothers in the blindness category, Dennis. Over.
Okay, very, very pleasant. Good evening up there. Yeah, I got the thing straightened out here. The bottle got messed up. This one here is it's a generic for Celebrex, spelled CELEBREX.
Celebrex, that's what I thought it was. Okay, very good.
Yeah, and it's 100 mg. But anyway, that's what it seems to be really helping. So I'll just pass that information along to you. So pleasant good evening.
Yeah, thanks much, Dennis. What are you paying for it for a bottle? Do you know?
I don't pay anything. My insurance covers everything.
Okay, got it.
And it is a little capsule is what it is. It's 100 milligram capsule.
Yeah, understand. Alrighty, thank you much. And let me take a standby again. Richard, Rich, if you were in there, I didn't hear you. We were trying to finish with Dennis here. Right again, KD6SOK. No, that's not right. KD6 Sugar Whiskey. KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC. Go ahead, Rich.
KR6MR, Bozo 759.
Here, 759. We got you, John, if you have to get away. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. You're coming in okay. I know you're not peaked at me on the antenna according to the web, but you're doing just fine. Update, we got 0.78 inches of rain so far, and we're looking at 4 to 6 inches more, or more than 6 inches coming up this week.
Oh boy, so you got 0.7 of an inch already. When did it start?
Early afternoon.
Okay, well you're rocking and rolling then. You're getting a lot of rain. Hell, if I get 0.7 out of the storm, I'll be happy. I'd like to have 7 inches, but I'll take 0.7. Over.
Roger on that. We had a storm a few years ago where one day we had over 11.5 inches.
I was thinking the same thing.
I had one night down here not many years ago, about 5 years ago, I had 5 inches one night, which is just unheard of here. And I thought there was something wrong with my rain gauge because I couldn't read it, and it turned out it had filled up and overflowed, and the little floater that gives you the measurement was floating around in the top cup. Over.
Yeah, okay, Mike. It is getting late. You still got to get to Nevada. And I'll let you go. See you tomorrow night. K6MYC in the group. KR6MR. Have a good evening.
Okay, thanks. Are you having trouble copying me?
You're fading in and out at times.
Well, that's 1,500 watts going your way, and you're not fading out for me, so I don't know. Okay. Who knows? 73. And we'll see you tomorrow on 432, John. KR6MR, K6MYC. Now looking for, let me see if I can get Redding in here. Redding. KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC. KO6HS, Kilo Oscar 6, Hotel Sugar, KO6HS, K6MYC, over. Boy, I'm not hearing anything out of Redding. Maybe they got so much rain they're afraid to get on. Maybe they washed down the Sacramento River.
You want me to turn up that way and see if they're there?
Yeah, you could try, Dennis. I'm just not hearing a trace, so that's unusual. They're always there, one of them.
Okay, I'm going that way.
Now, Dennis is rotating. Was there anybody else in the Sacramento area? Over. AE6ILX, I got you, 96. Hang on a second, if you can, Jeff. Stand by.
756.
I got you, 756. Nobody else heard you, but I did. Over. Let me go stand by and let Dennis get to Redding, boys. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dennis. 230. We hear you, Jerry. Roger, your Q5 with Flutter, Q5 and 1, 5 and 1, 5 and 0, 5 and 1. Good evening, Jerry, and thank you very much. Is Rich here? 145 there or not? Yes or no?
Roger, Roger. 145 is here. Hello.
Yeah, you're very loud now. Booming. Good evening, Rich.
Good evening. Boy, signals are all over the place. Yeah, KD6 copying wet. Been raining here all day. Over.
Wonderful. We hope for some here. We haven't had one drop yet. Over.
Well, it's been in the mid-40s here pretty much, and Interstate 5 has been closed pretty much all day, if it isn't still now because of the heavy snowfall. Over.
Wow. Okay. Well, good deal. Happy for you. I wish we could get some of that down here. Thanks, Rich. Booming signal tonight. Good. Who knows? Snowing and then the signals on 2 meters are terrific. Over.
I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the line just stopped just south of us here. Just a little windy, snowy, wet area, and you down there are still dry. Over.
Yeah, we're still dry. Not one drop. Not one drop. Over since May.
Well, I'm sending you some down. It's going to be a collect call, though. You'll get some.
Put it on FedEx overnight, okay? All right, 7373. You're dropping in and out here. KD6SW, KO6HS. Good evening to you, Jerry. K6MYC. Good night, guys. Good night. 73, Jerry. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Dennis. I think Dennis, I can't copy Dennis this direction. He's too muddled. But if you guys hear Dennis, tell him thank you. 73s, K6MYC, QRZ. Anybody else in this direction? 756. Got 756, Darren. You're not hearing 756. We have you, Darren.
Oh, very good. Okay, carry on, mate. Just thought I'd drop in and say hello and run off.
Yeah, I heard you earlier. 5, 6, 7 minutes ago, and I got you checked in at that point, but nobody else heard you. But we hear you now. Thank you, Darren.
Very good, Mike. Carry on.
Thank you.
K6, KFB.
73. Anybody else? K6MYC, Bozo Net, up to Sacramento Valley. Okay, KE6 ILX. Let me get up your way a little bit. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I just got going. It's going to be a sporadic check-in for me on all bands. Probably through Christmas. I got to take the stuff out of the rig, out of the truck for a while. Service it, and get them changed for Christmas. So, and I'm getting my really, really good. Anyway, checking will be sporadic.
Okay, how long do you think you'll be off the air? Over.
I guess my busy season is done at Christmas. I reported my shows the week between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that keeps me pretty well tied up. And I've got service work on the truck, so I'm taking all the rig out, all the amplifiers and stuff. But anyway, that's what's going to be going on this week, so you may or may not.
Okay, really difficult copy because you're all chopped up with QSB. All chopped up, so I didn't get a good idea how long you're going to be off, but we'll get you when you come back, I guess. That's the only thing we can think. It sounds like you're not going to be gone that long, so good luck with the mods and stuff. Good luck with the modifications and the upgrades or whatever you're doing there. 7-3, and thanks for checking in as always, Jeff. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good Thanksgiving if we miss you there. KE6ILX and Grass Valley, K6MYC.
Yeah, you're louder now. Just a single loop on the truck tonight. So, anyway, 7-3.
Okay, boy, it's just all chopped up. Mother Nature's got you chopped up in little pieces. Over. 7-3. Anybody else? K6MYC before I go to Nevada. I think that's it. Nevada, here we come.
803, check-in from Corso.
Well, I'll take 803. Good evening, Dan.
Yeah, I just thought I'd catch you on the way to Nevada.
I have haven't heard your partner in crime there. He hasn't in there tonight.
Okay, I'll have to go out and throw a rock at him.
Yeah, do that. I'm sure we'll hear him if he remembers to get on. Maybe he got going with a late dinner or something there. Thank you, Dan. Good to hear you as always. And if I miss you between now and then, have a great Thanksgiving up there in Course Gold. Over.
Okay, same to you.
Roger.
Okay. 6ZKE 704.
Wow, you're late, aren't you? Oh, KK6ZKE 704. Good to hear you, even off the backside. Over.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Well, you're allowed to do that. I got my naps in early, but I wake up pretty nice around this time. I usually pretty much awake from about 6:45 till 7:30. And at 7:30, I go to sleep, and then somebody else comes out here and does the net for me. Over.
Yeah, I was listening to some nice music, and then I just zonked out.
That's what happens to us old guys.
Roger that.
Oh, boy, yeah. All right, thanks, Terry. Good to hear you. Thanks for checking in here. KK6ZKE 704, we've got you. Now I'm looking toward Nevada, KD6BQ Bisquick. Are you there? Well, he was in early. Maybe he decided to put some more biscuits in the oven, and he's waiting for them to come out.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ, number 249, over.
Yeah, we got you now, Richard. Good signal. You were quite strong off the back. I could hear your sideband at times there when you were talking to Bill. Over.
Yeah, hopefully we didn't interfere, but yeah, he was pounding it up here. He had a great signal up here.
Yeah, when you're coming and going, the band is, at this time of night, it seems like the band in your direction gets all chopped up. I don't know what causes that, but everybody ends up with a pretty choppy signal. It was terrible coming out of Grass Valley. He was just all broken into little pieces, and I was piecing it together, and I could get everything, but it wasn't a normal voice structure. Over.
Yep, I know what you mean. Well, you're doing pretty good right now. You were up on a peak, so there's a little QSB on the signal, but not bad. So anyway, I'm glad we have power back on. I'm a little grumpy. They turned the power off at 5:30 in the morning, didn't come back on until 6 p.m. And I think Nevada Energy's learned some stupidity from PG&E. Over.
Oh, were they worried about fires? And did you have high winds up there?
Yeah, down a little bit right now. Yeah, we were without power all day. Over.
Yeah, did I said, did you have high winds up there?
Yeah, I measured, the peak wind I measured here during the day was 30 miles an hour. That's a nothing burger around here. When I called the representative for the power company, he mentioned, wind and concerns about their power poles and lines and stuff, and I said, the county required me to meet a 140-mile-an-hour wind standard for my 72-foot tower. If they didn't require that of you, I'm going to file a complaint. Over.
I would say so. I'd agree with that. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, 30 miles an hour is nothing. I mean, you really don't have any issues unless something is really ready to break already. Well, I'm glad that you got your power back. I'm sorry it was out all day. We haven't had any issues, and if it was out, it wouldn't bother me. I can chug along without it. I've got everything pretty much self-contained here now. There's a few little periods where I like to use a little bit of PG&E, but I can get along without it. Over.
Yeah, my biggest upset is the lack of water because I'm on a well, and I've got a system set up here so I can fight fires and I can provide water to the fire department if they show up. It includes a 5-horsepower pump in the well that will run 100 gallons a minute, and I've got hand pipes around on the property and other stuff, so we can do a pretty good job if there's a fire out here, but only if we have power. Without power, there's no water. So I told them they were making us less safe, not more safe.
Wow, that's terrible. Yeah, I've just gotten my well now self-contained. We're totally off-grid. We can be. I've got the grid in a standby mode, but it doesn't draw any current unless the batteries go completely dead. And when the batteries get down to 12%, the generator comes on. So the generator is supposed to pick it up. If the generator doesn't come on for some reason, then the PG&E turns on automatically at 8% of batteries. So one way or the other, I got no problem as long as I got PG&E. I've also, like I say, got the generator, and most of the time the generator has been very reliable. It's a Generac, and now we've got it set up so it's on automatically if we lose anything. Power gets down to, like I say, 10 or 12%, then the generator comes on, and PG&E will run on up to 15%, and then it waits and sees if the sun's come up. If it hasn't, PG&E continues on to hold the battery at 15%. So we've got everything covered in that department about as much as I can. I've also got 6,000 gallons in storage. And it's set up with connections so the fire truck can hook right onto my tanks. So at least they've got 6,000 gallons here. And I'm only about a minute from the lake with the helicopters, so I'm never too worried about that part of it. Back to you, Richard, KD6BQ, and I guess you got a new guy, K7 Delta Romeo Fox, coming up soon, huh?
Well, Dennis told me about him, so I'm hoping to hear from him soon, and that will be very nice. You know, we've got a lake nearby, and the helicopters and water buckets that with wind, you know, with a fast-moving fire, by the time they get them out here, we're pretty bad shape. So anyway, yeah, we've got to get. I'm working on the generator. That'll take care of the problem. That and probably 300 to 500 gallon propane tank over.
I've got 120 gallons, but it's good for better than a week. Almost better than a week because I only use about a gallon or 3 gallons per hour or something, 2 gallons per hour most of the time. And we can shut it off. There's periods where I don't need water for long periods of time. I don't need any extra water. I just like to have a little pressure. All righty. Well, I guess this guy is in a town starting with W, like Wilmington or something, halfway between you and Fallon, over.
Yeah, he's out in Wellington, and that's down by Urington and Smith Valley area, so he's probably about 40, 50 miles away from me to a little bit to the south and east of me there, over.
Okay. Well, I'll remember to point over that way as far as I can. I could go 15 degrees to the east when I look for Stan. Stan should be on this evening. I guess he was on earlier. I've got him checked in, but I'll still like to see if we can catch him in there. Maybe he knows K7 DRF there. Anyway, thanks, Richard. Let me see if Larry's here. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, Larry. Here, Larry. How about KE7 UQL, Kilo Echo 7, Uniform Quebec London? How about you, Daniel? I don't know what's happened to Daniel. Do you know anything about Daniel? Is he sick or something, Richard?
I haven't heard anything, so I don't know what the story is with Daniel, over.
Yeah, because he's missed 2 or 3 in a row now, which is very unusual. All right, let me go a little further, and I'll see if Stan is in here. Here we go over to Stan's direction in Fallon. K7 SUN, Stan, are you still hanging around there? K6MYC Bozo Net.
K7 SUN, Bozo number 442, Mike, and I was hanging around. You got a pretty good signal right at the moment, so it's been up and down tonight, but good signal right now, and over.
Well, I'm pointed at you now. I wasn't pointed. I was 10 degrees off of you before, and I was much more than 10 degrees earlier, so I'm pointed pretty much right at you now. It should be pretty solid. A little choppy. A little chopped up with QSB, but you're so loud it doesn't matter. Big signal. And what do you know about K7 Delta Romeo Fox? Can you tell me what his status is?
Well, I just know he's going to be getting on 2 meter sideband. He's going to try to get on. I've heard him before on 3952. what is that called, Mike? It's something net that's on 3952 in the evenings. I've heard him as net control there before numerous times, so that's about all I know about him, over.
Yeah, okay, well, everybody said that he's a 80-meter guy, but it's nice to see if we can get him on 2-meter sidebound. Well, as soon as you find out more about him, let us know what his power and antennas are going to be. And if you have any connection with him, be sure and tell him to be horizontal. I should have no trouble with him if he can run 25 or more watts and into a little Yagi. I should be able to hear him as strong as you are, over.
Yes, well, he'd probably be 60 miles closer than I am. So, and probably I'm thinking the path would probably be somewhere between Richard and me, over.
Yeah, Richard thinks he's 60 miles south. He thinks he's going to be south of you. He thinks he's going to be south of you, over.
Yeah, he's going to be south of both of us, actually. So almost maybe a path right between Richard and me. So yeah, he'll be south of us, over.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, we'll hope to get him in here, and I'm sorry we never did get the other fellow that was a friend of Larry's. Apparently he got everything up and running, but then he doesn't seem to have any interest in weak signal stuff. So he's kind of dropped out, according to Larry. Anyway, I don't know what's happened to Daniel. Daniel's gotten very quiet the last couple of days, so we're a little bit worried about Daniel there, but hopefully it's okay. Are you guys getting any rain over there?
No, negative. No rain, and I only had 13-mile-an-hour wind today, so we didn't even get the high winds here, over.
Okay, yeah, we've had no rain either. I've had no rain since May. Since May, no rain. I had one little sprinkle, about a 16th of an inch. That's it. It was almost unmeasurable. I'm just guessing at 16th of an inch. It didn't raise a float in the gauge at all, over.
Yes, I haven't had any rain other than a tiny little sprinkle, and that's been about all. So, yeah, they're talking like maybe we'll get some this weekend. So, yeah, you never know. I'd much rather have some rain than that wind. Oh, that wind just hate it, over.
Yeah, well, Richard had 30 miles an hour, so you did better than he did. Let me see if there's anybody over here. You're still strong. See if there's anybody over here that wants to say hi. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm hearing Stan. K7SUN. This is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo. How you doing, Stan?
Oh, I'm doing really good, and you're a nice solid S8. Very good signal, over.
Roger. Yeah, you came up there. You're a good solid S7 there, so propagation's good to us. Thank you.
Moved the path for you, Rob.
A very good signal, so that's a whole lot better than we've been having usually during the summer there. So as it gets colder, it just seems to get better.
Yeah, roger on that. We can't follow you when you go on those fishing trips, so we just have to wait till next time you're in town, over.
Roger, yeah, definitely did some fishing this year and also some hunting, so I got a wonderful bird dog that likes to go find some quail and some chukar, over.
Yep, that's a good companion to have there, over.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, so very, very nice. French Brittany, over.
Roger on that. You're starting to fade out on me now there, over.
Yeah, the band took a fade. 73.
And it's coming back over here. I gave him the propagation for a few minutes, but we can't let him get too enthused about it there, Stan. So I took the propagation back, over.
Yeah, well, you're still very, very strong. So, yeah, you're still a solid S8, S9. So, very good signal. Conditions are actually pretty darn good tonight.
Yeah, they are. And you're holding in well, but you actually dropped down when Rob said you got real strong for him. It was down for me. I could copy, of course, fine, but it wasn't the booming signal we've got right now. Okay, well, listen, we'll let you go. And keep your ears out for K7DRF and tell him we're anxious to get him in here. He'll enjoy this group, particularly if he's interested in improving the station or has any questions about VHF and all that stuff. So invite him in, and Rob will be the one that gives him a number. It'll be probably in the 1160, 1170 bracket somewhere, over.
Roger. Yeah, a lot of people, definitely a lot of people, Mike. All right, well, you have a good evening, Mike, and I will try to be here. No, 432, Mike. I was there. I could hear Daniel. I could hear Richard really well. I was on frequency. I did not hear a peep out of you guys down there in the Fresno area. Did not hear anything on 432, over.
Okay, well, here's a thought. It may be a knife edge problem when you get that kind of condition. And maybe if it's possible to do it, if you can raise the antenna 3 feet or 2 feet, or lower it 2 feet, sometimes that makes all the difference in the world. I've got a guy over in Watsonville that found a spot. He just crushes me, but if he goes up or down a couple of feet, he gets really weak, over.
You know, there's definitely a sweet spot, you know, for any given direction, so maybe I'll move it around a little bit, but gosh, it's at 70 feet, Mike, and it's a lot of work to let that tower down.
Oh, I hear you. No, I know the problem, Phil. I mean, Stan, I'm sorry about the comment even to make you move it. I'm running 800 watts and a pair of 440 XPs, so I've got 40 elements horizontal going at you side by side at 90 feet. So I've got gain. I've got well in excess of 100,000 watts of ERP going your way. I just can't imagine that we can't get it there. And Daniel and Richard, I even work with his 8 watts. I work Richard with his 8 watts, so I just can't imagine we can't get a signal to Fallon. Maybe a different antenna. Do you have another antenna you could put down low just above the roof or something for test?
I gave it away. I don't have my other antenna. I gave it away. We'll give it a try again. I'll give it a try again and see if maybe it was just a bad condition. So anyway, Michael, chat with you next week or later this week. Have a good evening, K7SUN.
Okay, we'll look for you tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's Thursday, and we'll be in here tomorrow, gangbusters in your direction. So hopefully we'll have some better luck here. Thank you, Stan. Good to chat. Take care. And if we miss you somehow between now and Thanksgiving, you have a good Thanksgiving with the family and all. Take care. K7SUN, Fallon, Nevada. K6MYC. 73.
73. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, KE7 UQL. Daniel, where are you? N7 Whiskey Tango. How about you, Larry? Well, I guess it's nobody's there. Richard, if you're still there, I'll say 73s to you, and we'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully, with your smashing 8 watts on 432. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Nope, didn't hear a peep from either Daniel or Larry. I would have heard them if they were there. So anyway, yep, we'll be looking for you on 432 with the 8 watts there. And our, thank goodness for CW, although once in a great while you do hear me on the sideband. So anyway, 73 for now. Thanks for running the net. And we'll look forward to this new guy. Maybe I'll send him off an email just to let him know we're in the area and encourage him. So anyway, have a good night. 73 to you, 73 to Judy if she's sitting out there. And we'll look for you tomorrow night. K6MYC, 86BQ, number 249 in Nevada.
Okay, well, when you send him an email, tell him that we're live streaming and tell him how to get here. Tell him to go to bozonets.com and then go down to the YouTube box and click and look at the streaming so he can actually hear the net and see how we operate and how we function. He's a net control guy, so he may or may not appreciate my style. But anyway, tell him about that. And we're also live streaming my rotator control and everything else. So there you go. Be sure and tell him that, and tell him that we're anxious to get him in here. But the live streaming will get him to get a chance to listen to the net without having any antennas or anything in the air. Richard, over.
Yeah, Roger, good idea. I'm glad you mentioned it. I will definitely tell him about the live stream and how to find the link and all that stuff. And even before he's set up, he's able to listen to the net and get an idea how things operate. So, yeah, we'll give that thing. I did see that he has his email address on QRZ, so I will copy that address and send him a quick note letting him know we're in the area and glad he's interested in VHF and point him to the website for the live stream on the Bozo Net there.
Good. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate the effort there to get him cranked up a little bit, get him aware of how good it is. I think we have a pretty sophisticated net here, and there's always information. If there's questions that come up, we've got lots of talented people that can answer. And if nothing else, we can exchange phone numbers to those talented people, even though they can't get together necessarily on the air. So I think we've got a good thing going here, and I like the live stream. It tells everybody we're pretty up to date and pretty modern. I wish I knew what I was doing. 7-3. Good evening, Richard, and we'll see you tomorrow. KD6BQ K6MYC. Good night. It did. Okay, I'm going to go back to Sacramento quickly, stop and call and see if there's anybody left there. And where are we here? 3. Geez, I wish I could read my meter.
Hey, Mike, the new guy he's over in Wellington.
Wilmington, that's what I said. I asked them if they knew, and they mentioned a couple other towns, but it wasn't Wilmington. But anyway, Richard's going to send him an email and tell him about the live stream and stuff so he can listen in ahead of time.
Yeah, Roger, it's Wellington. Wellington, I think.
When I say Wilmington, Wellington, yeah, well, it's all the same. The sound's the same. I said he was in that area. They must know the names of the towns over there.
Yeah, he's right between Lake Tahoe and Walker Lake, or up and down, he's between Bridgeport and Carson City, over.
Yeah, okay. There's another guy up in there that's got a great location, and he's just gone dead quiet on me. I don't know what's happened to him. He's a very, very moxie guy. I went up and spent some time at his location and everything, and now I can't remember who it is anymore. I can't even remember. It's been 3 or 4 years when Matt and I were up there with him, and he was going to get on. He has all the equipment. He's got kilowatts on 2 meters and all that stuff, and he's just gone dead quiet on all bands. So maybe he's not well or something. I don't know, but he's got a great mountaintop, so we'd hear him like all the time, as good as anybody that's over there. But I was hoping that he would come up, but he just never got on the air.
Be good, and Larry got him fixed up, and then he disappeared, over.
I missed the first part. Say again.
I say Larry's friend Dale was in there. Larry helped him out and got him going, and all of a sudden he's disappeared.
Well, he just doesn't have any interest. Larry said he's just not interested in VHF. Like he's just all wrapped up in working countries. 10 meters has been so wide open that he just doing just HF stuff, and he's just not interested in fighting weak signal stuff. Somebody broke in. Who was the break? Who was the break? Somebody said something underneath you there, Rob.
The 775.
Oh, there he is, 775. Good evening, Mike. We tried to get you in here earlier. Called and called, but didn't get you. Let's see. I'm not even pointed at you. I'm pointed in up towards Sacramento, so you've got a good signal right now, Mike, over.
Roger, I can hear you.
let me come down your way. Let me just see if there's anybody in Sacramento. Anybody in Sacramento for late checks or missed? K6MYC, Bozo Net. Okay, nothing heard. I'm coming your way, Mike. That should be pretty close, Mike. KB6 Whiskey, Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC. How's that?
That's pretty good, but I don't know, on the stream, oh, here it comes. It's coming, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, KB6WFC. You're pointed at me now, I think.
Yeah, we got you pretty close. I went back and forth, and I didn't see much change, so very easy copy now. Good to hear you. Thanks for coming in. I'm glad I decided to come back for late checks and missed there. Were you in earlier, or did we just miss you here?
Oh, I took a break for dinner, so sorry about that. But we got just over a quarter-inch of rain today.
Well, very good. You should get a whole bunch more than that. I guess some of the guys reporting already 7/10 of an inch. Over.
That's a lot, yeah. We had about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts, though.
Yeah, they had wind everywhere in the Bay Area as well, 30 to 40 miles an hour. In some cases, no wind, no rain, but they did get a lot of wind. We got no wind and no rain, so it was beautiful here, about 70, 74 degrees. Over.
Summertime, huh?
Yeah, amazing for the middle of November, isn't it? I went for an ATV ride for about a half an hour in my shirt sleeves. Over.
And then what, jump in the pool?
Oh, I didn't go in the pool. I went for an ATV ride down to the creek, where the creek is below me, Fine Gold Creek. Totally dry. Not a drop in the creek anywhere, no ponds, no nothing. I've seen it 100 feet wide and 8 feet deep when it's roaring. Over.
We're supposed to get a big rain coming on Friday.
Well, we got our fingers crossed. Anyway, 73s, Mike, very good to hear you. Thanks very much for being there again. KB6 Whiskey, Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC. Good evening.
Good evening. Always a pleasure, Mike. K6MYC, KB6WFC.
Okay, 73. Anybody else in the Bay Area? Let me go down a little further into the Bay Area. QRZ Bay Area, late checks or missed. WB6JNN, KT2G. We got Mike in there, KF6QCH. We got Stan in there, but we're missing several in the Bay Area. K6MYC, Bozo Net. Anybody? Late checks or missed? They're just not going to come in there tonight, Rob. Let's go and get Eddie and see if he's there, and then we're done.
Okay, sounds like a plan. We could even try calling for Rick down that way, too.
Go ahead.
There we are. KB6RQU, Rick, old Bozo 61. Are you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KM6SR with K6MYC. Standing by.
But KE6BK, Eddie, are you there? KE6BK or KB6RQU or N6SWR? Anybody?
KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight? Yeah, I didn't hear Eddie on the Monday night Aries Net either, so I wonder if he's gone or something there. Oh, and I got some news to tell you about LOL.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I texted him and he called me up, and I think it was last night or whenever we were talking about him not being there. He'd just gotten home from the hospital, and they did the other side, put a stent in, and he had what do you call it? The Ridman or something happened, and they had to give him a shock to bring him back around. Fibrillation. He had fibrillation going on there, so he was kind of recuperating there. Over.
Well, good. I'm glad that he was on the table when he had the fib. So that's a bummer. That shouldn't have happened. That was a nothing operation, but apparently it had something that triggered something in there. I worry about him. He's not. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about his overall health, and it seems like he's got a lot of problems all of a sudden creeping up on him.
Well, I think he's been used to being very physical and working out and in good shape. So this is probably not too normal for him. Over.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's it. I think he's been a horse all his life, and all of a sudden everything's catching up with him—the cancer and the heart problems and all the rest of it. Anyway, let's hope he pulls through and we hear him back on the air here shortly. Thanks for checking into him, what he is, what he's up to there. Anybody before we close the net? And Aaron, are you with us tonight, or are you still out there doing other things?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, you're just quiet tonight. How's the stream looking tonight from my internet? Is it stable or is it unstable?
It's fine now. Yeah, we had about 7.5% loss. I think last night we're at about 6%, but right now it's running fine. But earlier on it was being a little goofy. But I don't know, man. I've been in the car a lot today and running around, and so I've been listening in the background and trying to catch up on other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going to call wireless broadband today and have him check out the signals and see if the path was good, or maybe the wind has moved the antenna a little bit and they're not getting a good path. I was going to have him check it out, and I didn't forget exactly, but we ended up with we got a notice in the mail that we hadn't paid a bill from the Fresno Surgical Hospital, and I said, Jesus, Judy, I thought sure we paid that. It was, not as insignificant, $588 or something. And I said, I thought I remembered paying that. And I said, go back and let's look at our bank statements. And sure enough, we found it in the bank statement that they had cashed my debit. It was pulled out of the bank at $588. So, and then we tried to call them at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we kept getting a message. Our business hours are from 8 to 5. And leave a message if you call after those hours. And I said, I'm leaving a message here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're not answering. Hello, what are you doing down there? We called them 4 times and we got the same message no matter which button we pushed, no matter how we did it. We could not get into them. But that kind of took my mind off of calling wireless broadband, because we fiddled around with Fresno Surgical Hospital for so long. They do a super job in the hospital part, but their accounting department sucks. Over.
Maybe they're off having a party.
With my money?
Well, it's probably a pretty good party.
Yeah, I'd hope so. Well, they end up getting something in the neighborhood of about $1,000 or $800 to $1,000 for that part of the operation, which is pretty significant. The doctor gets a part of that. It's a total of $2,800 for one eye. So some of that's the cost of the lens, and then some of it is the doctor at his team, Dr. Remington, and then some of it, good $800 or more, goes to the hospital for anesthesiasts and other people that are in the room with you. It takes all of about 40 minutes to do the whole operation. You're in and out in under an hour usually. They make a fair amount of dollars per eye for that 1 hour of preparation, but their accounting department is probably blowing it just like the Democrats. Over.
Yeah, well, you have to call between the right hours on the right day of the week, and if it's any other time outside of that, they're not going to answer your call. I don't know. Maybe they were all sitting there twiddling their thumbs, wondering why they didn't have any phone calls, and meanwhile the voicemail system was still activated.
Yeah, well, the voicemail said we have 8 to 5, and I was calling at 3 in the afternoon. I said, what the heck, guys? You're telling me on your automatic system that you're there until, whoops, I just kicked my cat in the head. I didn't see him on the chair. I put my foot up on the chair. I didn't mean to hurt you, buddy. I didn't mean to wake you up. I'm sorry. Anyway, it was kind of a stupid thing, and we kept calling, and Judy, we just threw our hands up. We've had 2 or 3 notices that we haven't paid the bill. And on the first notice, I called them right away because we hadn't gotten a bill from them. There was a discussion at the time that we were there, and they said, we don't know exactly how much it's going to be, because I walked in ready to pay their share of it, and they said, well, we know it's going to, there's part of the bill is 200 and something, and I paid that, and they said, we'll get back with you on the rest of it. And that was the 588, and then there was another 140 that went to an enthusiast. But and then Judy keeps saying, I'm getting these little notices that say, you owe us $20 for this and $20 for that. And she's asked for accounting several times. Well, what is the $20 for? Tell me what I'm paying for if you're going to charge me. And they never send a receipt. I mean, they never send an invoice or anything. So it's just the accounting department must be DEI. Over.
Yeah, I have the same problem with my dentist. Well, we just got something in the mail, and they're like, oh, you're 60 days past due on this $35. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me about it. And what's this for? Like, what did the insurance not cover? And, yeah, they just said, give me the money.
Yeah. Well, I know part of it is Medicare and all that. Just so many rules that Medicare keeps changing how they do things and what they can pay and what they don't pay. And if you've got insurance and the insurance takes some of the payment and in lieu of having insurance and blah blah blah. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to go in where it's warmer. It's not too cold out here, but I'm starting to get a little bit down. And the cat wants to get out. I had closed the door on here. Anyway, good evening to you. And again, thanks for everything. And I'll try to remember to call wireless broadband tomorrow. I might even look at the antenna up on the roof, but I'm not sure I can tell. If it's way out of alignment, I could see it. But if it's just a little bit off, I wouldn't be able to spot it. But I'll let them check the throughput and see. They should be able to do that quickly. Thanks, Aaron. And Rob, good evening to you, and whoever else is left here. I'm surprised we didn't get Frank in here. I think Frank went home and fell asleep. He was beat when he left here. He said, I'm really tired. So hopefully he's doesn't beat himself up too bad so he doesn't get sick again. Take care, guys. KM6SRR to hold, and I'll listen out, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. Hey, Aaron, we need to get a little, one of those horns hooked up to one of Frank's radios so that when he's AWOL, we can give it a blast. Over.
I'll get right on it.
Yeah, I knew you'd be able to figure it out there with some kind of IP connection. Anyways, Mike, I got 38. I know you probably can't count yours, so if Judy looks at it later or something, you can check it off, okay?
Yeah, well, send us the thing. She's been printing them out in the morning. I heard her print it out yesterday morning. I can't count them, but I got a lot. I'm amazed at, well, we got pretty good. This is 2 meters, so it's about the normal group, maybe a little light. I don't know, we're missing a few regulars, which has bothered me a little bit. N6RO now 2-3 days in a row, not checking in. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And of course, we know now what's going on with LOL. But there's a few others that are kind of AWOL. The Bay Area has been very quiet. I mean, Ed was in there tonight, and he was AWOL for a week, but he was sick, so he had a good excuse that he wasn't in. And, of course, we didn't have KW6S for a while because he was in the hospital with the back operation. But now we got those guys back, but the Bay Area was just terrible tonight. JNN wasn't there. AB6, we had about 5 or 3, I guess. AB6SR said you were very strong, by the way, Rob.
Okay, it must have been when I went down to see the cats. I didn't hear all that. Over.
Yeah, he was pounding in here with a good signal. All right, good night, all. K6MYC, and I'm sure that your count's close to mine. You were here the whole time, weren't you, except for the little bit on 10 meters?
Yeah, and I think I got most of that happen on 10 meters too. You can check it out, have Judy compare that time. So anyway, sounds good. K6MYC, KM6SRR 73.
We have a blatant gap. How many? I'll write down. How many did you say you had? 32?
38, as in 38 special.
Okay, I wrote 38 on this piece of paper, and I'll tell Judy that's the number that you got. You should have something close to it, so we'll see. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Aaron. Good night, K6MYC. See you guys on 432 tomorrow.
Roger, Roger. We'll catch you later. K6USY.
Roger, Mike. Hey, Aaron, I took the trophy over to the shop today, and they're going to have it all fixed up for us. Over.
Alrighty, sounds good.
They're going to make a new plate, put your name on it and the new guy's name, and then they're going to put some felt on the bottom that I got, but I didn't know the best way to glue it on. Over.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And then that way it doesn't scratch up whatever surface it ends up on.
Yep, and it probably could because it's one heavy sucker.
Oh yeah, you guys made that, you could break some windows with that thing.
Yeah, windows or skulls, I guess. Anyway, okay, we'll let you go. K6USY, KM6SR 73.
Alrighty, good night. And good night to everybody else on YouTube. K6USY, Delta Mike 06.